Hi, this is episode 3, October 1st, Kent Kruger Biological Channel. And you know what? Like you retards that spend thousands on every production because you want to make money off of YouTube. I've told you from the start, I'm not here to be monetized. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to tell my story. I'm here to tell the truth. I don't give a shit about the rest of you. This is all about me and recording my life into what will be a permanent, up in the cloud, reserved for my work and what I have to say. So, here we go. Them some thunder boomers. We just had a few sprinkles. If you can't tell, I'm surrounded by clouds. It's late in the day, actually. But you can still see me. But the original and what will be the title, I'll have to decide it when I upload it, is the fact that most of you YouTubers are unproductive retards. You create a channel, you come on, you talk shit, but yes, most of you are gamers who still live in your mother's basement or your mother's garage. You watch anime, which is, anybody who studied the history of anime knows it's all about child rape and pedophilia. And you fuckers still don't realize that shit. And you're just such, you're such a bunch of fucking loser retards. I'm serious, you know. I'm going to put my Jew hat down a little bit. It's amazing how stupid you people are. You know, if we go globally and stuff like that, the average YouTuber, 1.3 billion of you, have an IQ of around 78 tops. And that means half of you are so retarded you can't be executed in the state of Texas. And yet you still think that you have the right to argue with me, even though you have uploaded no product, you've done nothing, you've done shit in your whole life, except fucking masturbate and try to gain access to some form of fucking YouTube. Here you go. You know what? It's October here, and still yet, I've got millions and millions of, actually on this property, I've got billions of flowering plants I'd love to show you. And that's what I'd really rather be doing, is venturing into the biological, which is the name of this real channel, not Kent Kruger, instead of talking about personalities like fucking Damon Rudolph Zippo, or Weston G. Hemperly, Jonathan Hemperly, or some of the other fuckers that are continue to attack me on, you know, what is social media. That was actually, yeah, it's only 3 minutes 50. And let me give you a history here, brief history of the free chat lines in America, of which there are 40,000 or more of them. I'm going to give you a quick history. By about 1990, the federal government was going to shut down the free chat lines. Why? Because most of them were scammers playing upon the blind, crippled, crazy, and housebound. Time for a swig. In 1990, the state of New York did a study that showed that on any given minute, the free chat lines, many of which were scams, that would turn around. Like if you spent a lot of time on a chat line as a blind person or something like that, all of a sudden you would get a $2,500 bill. So the state of New York, which all this has been erased from the websites that used to carry this this legal abstract. I still have the screenshots. You can go fuck yourself. I've studied this to the nth degree. In 1990, the state of New York proved that 30 to 90% of the people on free chat lines, allegedly free chat lines in this country, most of which were centered around Boston and New York, were actually blind, crippled, and crazy people who needed that social contact to keep them out of very expensive, group therapy, etc. So the state of New York saw it as a money-saving, lawsuit and sued. And I hope that didn't kill the audio. And so they established this in 1990. They established the permanent free chat lines, which is where I've been tracking and quantifying the new black supremacy movement, which is a bunch of very crazy fuckers who actually believe that Wakanda is real, vibranium's real, and that black people actually invented everything, that we stole it from them. That's how fucking crazy they are. So the state of New York won, and they set up this 60-40 split before the long distance companies like Verizon, etc., went to unlimited long distance, which destroyed their profit margin, and they've just been barely hanging on by the skin of their teeth since then, and have been taken over by a bunch of people that are just don't really care and will not police the people that show up on their chat lines. And most of these people are a bunch of homos, blacks, in some cases black supremacists, like the old donut, the 3500, 3505, etc. And it's particularly the Boston Loach, which is mostly a bunch of homos and weirdos and schizos and shit like that, like dyslexic, retarded, which he admits. Damon Rudolph Zippo and Weston G. Hemperly. Weston G. Hemperly is a retarded, disorganized schizophrenic. And almost every day I have, well, not every day, but on a regular basis I have contact with him, just because nobody else on this planet will talk to him except for his mother, and not even his father, because his father is a fucking weirdo just like him. He goes on chat lines and says, "I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt bow down to me." And I go like, "Oh, what, to suck your dick?" And he goes, "You're just projecting your homosexual fantasies onto me." And I go, "No, you said you were God, so, and when you told me to bow down, I know better, because before God you prostrate yourself. You lay face down and dare not look into the eyes of God." You see, I have an education, unlike the people I'm dealing with. That's the biggest problem with you YouTubers and chatliners and the rest of you, is that I have an incredible education, because from the time I was a small child I was very intellectually acquisitive and so on. I've got at least 5 minutes left here. Let me end it with this. Let me give you some of my creds. When I was born, I was like almost 29 inches long, very lean, very big head, which only will come out of a woman who's had 8 children like my mother. I began walking and talking at age 6 months, so my actual visual memory begins in December 1954, and my audio memory begins only a year or two later. And right after my 5th birthday, I have the time here, I can tell. A day or two after my 5th birthday, which my dad had maybe give me a couple of quarters, that's all you get from my dad, because back in the day, men worked for $47.50 a week. Men like my dad, who was a genius, had to take what he could get and could still support a family of 8 and pay the mortgage on a house, etc., off a minimum wage. And you know what? The day after my 5th birthday, I went, "Dad, give me a nickel." And Dad said, "Son, you see our brand new lawnmower out there in the gas can? See the neighbor's yard over there?" He says, "A grown man will charge $3 to mow that yard." And I said, "Dad, I'd do it for $1.50. That's 30 nickels. That's how smart I was. Because, see, by the time I was 3 years old, I taught myself arithmetic, which the lady at the local Panther Den figured out, because she was ripping off all those other kids, those dumbasses. By the time I was 4 years old, I already taught myself to read, write, and do arithmetic, just from watching. No instructions. Unlike you fucking retards on YouTube and etc. I have 3.5 minutes. So, before I even went to 1st grade at 5, I already had a job. Passed 1st grade with all A's at age 5 and had a job. By age 7, my brother came and said, "Come work for me." Yeah, okay. But I made the deal. And I skinned him pretty good, because it included all the Whataburgers and onion rings and strawberry and chocolate shakes I could drink, besides 25 cents an hour for doing everything from clerical work. In those days, there were no Xeroxes. When I went to the courthouse, I had to copy that shit out of those 14 by 18 inch, 20 inch books by hand and stuff like that. And by the time I was 8 years old, I had 3 jobs, 1 full-time working for my brother Jerry, and then Billy Wayne, that asshole, and 2 part-time jobs working for my loan service and working for equity for my dad, which is one of the reasons how I own this place. That's one of the reasons I own this place, is because I have so much equity in this and several other properties around here. You dumb motherfuckers. You don't even know about equity. So, those other rich kids, including the richest kids in town, actually the richest family, I'm going to only have 2 minutes left. I'm going to end here before I really want to. One of the richest families in town, who own their own school, Allen Academy, they sent their just gorgeous, angelic daughter to be in my school, in my grade, the A class, not the B class, because we used to track. If you were a B track, we knew you were never going to go to college or achieve shit. You were a retard. And one of the most famous families in this area sent their daughter, Polly, to be in my class by the time I was age 7 and she was almost 9. And you know what? She never talked. Possible potential. She was so beautiful, but she just didn't ever talk. She didn't talk to the teachers. She didn't talk to me. I had all kind of other women on me. And that's where I went. And Pamela, you know. So, I've only got a few seconds left. I just want to remind you people on YouTube who've never produced anything and yet dare to comment, you're a fucking retard. You people who use fake names, you're a retard. You people on YouTube who fucking don't do shit, fuck you.